it's working. Is it working now? Not you.
No.
It says it's working.
Okay, now it's stream started.
Oh,
Hi everyone, I'm finally on.
sorry guys. YouTube, in their wisdom, decided to change. It looks
You
like
can talk.
they're streaming. I don't know what it is, cause I noticed like on the website something is different, and then I switched back to the classic on YouTube's website. I thought it was something wrong on my side, but apparently it's YouTube because I switched back to the classic thing. Now they use some kind of an encoder, and it's screwing everything up. That's why I've been having problems with this. It looks like the last couple. I thought it was because I didn't update my software, but
See, but this one's still waiting.
which one? Wait. Yeah, because I created that one on their old.
3 people waiting.
Oh no. I need to delete that. Some people might be waiting on the new one. Please.
Sorry.
This is Japanese. Just say please hop on our tweets. Oh, YouTube. I hate YouTube. Oh, what is this? Why are they changing something that...
Is this what leave
Oh, talk, babe. I'm gonna go ahead and
talk
delete that stream.
Stream.
Oh my god.
No.
I'm so frustrated with YouTube right now. Live, Memberstream. I'm gonna delete that. Delete forever. Delete. Okay. They're asking me, why do you want to switch back to the classic? I said, other. It's not working. Fix it in capital.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not
That's
working.
all?
Yeah, I don't know why
That's what you
YouTube
have to
switched
do.
it when it's not working. It's crashing my software. So it's something simple. I don't mind the whole new YouTube studio creator thing, but this thing is not working. I don't know what it is. Anyways, welcome.
Welcome.
I'm
to
so frustrated. I need to calm down
our
first.
live stream. We are late 45 minutes today because we are meeting. The Canadian signature Canadian souvenir. So we are meeting a Canadian guy. Yes.
Yes, guys.
Ding.
Wait. Mayu is
I like
showing
it.
off all the presents
Yeah,
we got.
mine. I really appreciate it. Oh, that is what I really wanted. I was craving for it. I don't even remember when was the last time I had this. Maple syrup. Oh my god, this side is French. Very durable. The biscuit. Yay, so cute. Peanut free.
You know what? I don't see my live stream control though.
Here you are. You are on now.
There's nobody commenting. Guys,
Tell us something.
ask us any questions. I had so many people, but this was getting delayed and delayed because I couldn't get the stream to work. Joe Chan, are you on?
Joe Chan, where's Joe Chan?
He was messaging
Jong
me.
Kim, no? Jong Kim.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember I watched your not live stream, the YouTube channel about how you moved to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on tourist visa. Interesting. I don't think that many people do that though, but you're lucky that you found a job.
Really? I think there's tons of jobs in Japan, babe.
I mean, within a month, you have to, find a job, you have to find a place. I guess it's really hustle. If I were in that position.
Today I'm gonna let Mai do a lot of talking because I just got done talking to one of my...
I want to sleep, but last night I was only 3 hours sleep.
Oh yeah, I also want to sleep. I just got done talking for like 2-3 hours on the same topic I was gonna talk to you guys about, which is why we're considering moving away from Thailand, which isn't entirely true because we're
Oh,
gonna be
King
here
is
forever.
on. King
But
is on. Hi,
oh,
King.
hey King. Um, yeah. Now I'm sort of confused. What I already talked to you guys about on the live stream, and then what I talked to him about. So I'm relying on you guys to ask us the questions. Unless it's like, oh yeah, it's about time you guys moved away from Thailand, if that's what you think. It's like, okay, then there's nothing more needed to say. Well, you know? Yeah. But just to summarize, a lot of the issues was with medical insurance, long-term viability of making money out here, pretty much like legal status. To sum it up, I don't see a benefit of staying here, as opposed to like just making money a couple months in another country and traveling out here.
Mm.
So it's not like I'm gonna completely move away. It's sort of a clickbaity idea, but my plan would be to just make money in a nearby country and then come here and video full time because lately it's just been getting worse for me personally. Now, I'm not saying like it's been worse for expats or anything. Although some people would say that, for me it's just like my job teaching English isn't really bringing in money. I'm actually making less money lately because I don't know, just how they line up the schedule for the classes, etc. It was already really tough only making like $500 a month and trying to survive off of that as it was. But now it's like $300 to $400, and I am really not seeing too much of an incentive of staying here. And you know, it might not seem like a lot, 2 to 3 days a week, but 2 to 3 days a week to make $400-500 is, I mean, I think most people can agree that's not really worth it.
King saying, but how would you be able to stay in Thailand without your teaching job? He's gonna quit the job and he won't be staying here for long term.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually been talking about this quite a lot, and the thing is, I never liked the idea of staying here all the time. I mean, people assume that I like it, just staying here constantly, you know, never leaving. And people assume that I want to live here permanently, and that's not the case. That's never has been my intention, you know. I'm pretty sure I said this in my last stream. I titled my channel Live Travel Asia because I want to not only live here, but travel in Asia. So I haven't been doing much of traveling because I'm just tied down here just living. So I am now sort of putting myself in a make it or break it situation where I'm gonna try to survive, making money, maybe in Korea, and then doing as much as I can to travel with whatever little I make. And quite frankly, I think I can do far more traveling that way. So, yeah, there we go. As far as the visas, you know, I keep saying, come out here on a tourist visa. That's exactly what I plan on doing. That's what I did before. I don't have any intentions of working here. I just don't think it's great to work out here, guys. Ironically, as I told you, my situation before, the reason I had to start working was because they suspected I was working. So, it's like, then I started working because they suspected I was working and they wanted to deport me because they're like, well, how do you survive without, you know, making money out here? And I'm like, well, I was just using my savings. So I got quite good in the last few years of learning how to minimize my budget and not spend a lot of money. So, you know, I feel relatively comfortable I don't think it's gonna be that hard for me to try to make $500 a month. You know, maybe I won't, but who knows? I'll just go give it a try. But worst case scenario, like the year, I'll go ahead and try to do that. I'll at least have some time that I would be able to spend with my family and be at peace, sort of in that personal respect. Yeah. But yeah, guys, I don't know. What do you think? Do you personally think you would want to live here for the rest of your life?
Are you asking me?
I already know Mayu's answer, but actually, while you guys let us know in the comments, do you personally want to live here in Thailand for the rest of your life and never leave and just like get one of those permanent kinds of visas and just stay here? I mean, I assume, I was just talking to one of my other Patreons and he had the same idea. No, I only expect to stay here 5 years and then come back sort of as a vacation.
If you have a tons of money, you can comfortably be anywhere. Not
No,
only
but
in
it's like
Thailand.
tons of people come out here with tons of money. It's not like money is an issue, but I do hear some people are like wanting to just settle down here and put their roots down here. It's like, I hope I'm not leading you to believe that that is a very wise decision. But yeah, what about you, Mayu? What do you think?
I don't think I'm gonna be staying here for the rest of my life. Eventually, I want to move somewhere like countryside, as I told you a long time ago.
Well, there's countryside in Thailand.
Yeah, can be, maybe. You know, today I was talking with my manager. He's from Chiang Mai.
Oh.
It's not really city center of Chiang Mai. He's like not really city center, but it's like not literally. What do you call? Pretty close to the city center, Chiang Mai, and he bought a house, 1.3 million baht, 3-bedroom, full house. After 6 months, he got offered 1.7 right now. Isn't it like really good price? He got a 2 offers. He 1.5, another one is 1.7, but he's still considering he's gonna sell or he's still gonna keep it because he wants to move back to Chiang Mai in future. So I feel like that is what I want to do. You know, in the future, I don't want to stay like really busy city center. You know, I want to have more relaxed life. So I don't think it's Bangkok though. There's a question. How do you get more comfortable in front of the camera? Break Diaz travel blog asks you.
How do I get comfortable?
Yes.
I don't think I'm truly ever that comfortable. Actually, I am now.
Yeah, I know. I can tell.
I'm less comfortable though if, like, when I'm vlogging, you know?
Huh? Less comfortable. Now you're more comfortable.
Yeah, right now I know the people that are on there,
Oh, okay.
they're like more like my friends, you know? I've been talking to you guys for years now. So
What years now?
I just picture you guys just sitting like literally in front of me. I like imagine a big couch and everybody sitting there and we're having a conversation. But instead of you being able to talk directly back to me, I have to look here or ask Mayu to let me know what they said, which is actually quite.
He said, I don't know. I'm trying to save up to travel for 2 years.
Babe, I didn't even finish my response.
Okay. Okay.
You
I just want to
completely interrupted my thought.
Sorry.
Now I don't know what to say.
Okay, so go ahead. Next.
What?
King said, I am not sure whether I would love
Oh,
like
Joe Chan's calling.
to stay forever, not until we travel at least.
What's up, Joe? Our newest Patreon.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, how's everything?
Everything is fantastic. I've been talking to
Yeah?
Joe for quite a bit. Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, everything's actually.
Oh, sorry, I was in a meeting.
Oh, you're in a meeting.
I was. Now I'm off. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Are you at work or are you just like meeting for your own private, or you do your own business or?
No, I'm working from home today. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's all good. Oh, point it at. Yeah. Let's see. All right, Joe. I actually sound very tired. It I'm not excited or anything, but it's just I'm very tired. That's all it is. Cause
Do you want me to let go? I mean.
no. It's fantastic that you called. Join our live stream, please.
Yeah. No. That's great. Hey, so I want to ask you, right, about the healthcare system, right, in Thailand now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a dual pricing now, and with 4 different tiers, right? What tier are you in? Can I ask you if you were to go into a hospital? Knock on wood that you don't have to.
Okay, so they say dual pricing, but it's not dual pricing. It's like 4-tier pricing. The last I read
people
was.
Look at you first, then.
Huh?
People look at your financial.
You know what? Like, I think it's applied differently. It's not like America where there's like, this is set in stone. I think they discretionarily apply it. This dual tier pricing has been around forever. And I think it's just certain hospitals apply it, certain don't. So I think they went out and just say, apply like dual tier pricing or something. But based on the reports that I've read, it was you're a citizen. Second is you're from an ASEAN country, which is Philippines, all the neighboring Southeast Asian countries. They have different, they got like a trade agreement. So they have certain jobs, like low paying jobs that we probably don't even want to work, that they can work, etc. But, the guys from Cambodia, Myanmar, etc., they don't make a lot of money. So they get cheap pricing, but not as, I guess, they say it's almost the same as Thai. Like when I saw the tier pricing, the examples they gave, it was like Thais would pay this, and it's not like a step in equal increments. It was like Thais pay this, ASEAN countries pay like this, and then there was like a significant jump for expats like us on a work permit or a long-term visa, and then there was like a significant jump for like people on tourist visas, so like for medical tourism.
So basically, I would be at the highest rate.
Well, it depends on what visa you're on. If you're in a tourist visa, then yeah, you would probably be at the highest rate.
No, but
And it's like,
like I would only stay there 60 days and then hop around.
Yeah, then you would probably
Still on
get.
tourist visa.
Now I don't know if they're really applying. It seems like there's some backlash to it, so you never know with these things. I wouldn't. But that is sort of what it is already. Like you talk to any expat and they'll tell you they sort of get charged more. And if you go to a hospital, it'll be quite clear. I should do this vlog. I did go around to hospitals and ask prices.
No, that's what I was trying to give you an idea about.
Yeah.
A lot of people worry
I
about
actually shot it. I just haven't edited it. But what I end up doing is I go to like Bumrungrad. I go here, and more so the thing is, even more so than this dual tier pricing, the price depends more on your doctor too. I'm like, well, what if I had this kind of condition? They're like, well, within this thing, like, or in college, I don't know, I'm not a medical guy, but like within this department there's these kinds of doctors, and like Bumrungrad, for example, has foreign doctors, so if they're like foreign doctors and you see them, that specialist, then you get charged more. They have different prices for the doctor you see. It could be even within the same department with the same procedure. It depends on the doctor you see. You know what I'm saying? So there's just too much vagueness about the pricing out here. So I've been told, like there's lots of people that'll have mixed information about this. They'll say, I always heard from the locals, and I have from good sources, because it's like if you date nurses and like medical sales agents, they know which hospitals charge more or less and whatever. They tell you which one to go to. And I know the one that everyone tells me to go to is Ramanine Hospital right here, the private hospital, right? So
yeah.
I tell other people, I'm like, hey, I was told that Rama 9 hospital is pretty good. What do you think? And then they're like, I have some expats saying, no, Bumrungrad is just as cheap. I went there and I had this experience with inpatient here and outpatient there, and they charged me more here, and Bumrungrad actually came out to be cheaper. And I'm like, what the heck? So you got all this freaking, like, weird experiences. But then when I went around and I actually asked the questions, that explains the discrepancy. It's like, depending on the particular procedure and whether or not your doctor was foreign or not, you can get charged more or less. And I have a feeling they just probably look at you and they size you up and probably see how much they can get out of you. It's a business at the end of the day. They're private hospitals. They're not like they're for-profit hospital.
I mean, basically, they look at your passport.
Maybe.
They look at me. Like me and you. I mean, we're both Asians, so they can't really tell. They're just gonna look at our passport.
They look at well. So let me tell you this experience. So I went there and then I'm like, I'm not really comfortable with this answer. Like, I wouldn't know. Like, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm like dying and I'm trying to negotiate which doctor to see. Like, I'm not in my right mind to do that kind of stuff in that situation, right? So I heard from somebody else that lives in Hua Hin that you can get in their like family programs and such, like membership programs if you like, and then like negotiate prices with the hospitals and such. Well, there was no such thing at any of the hospitals I went to, but I kept asking, do you guys have like a membership program here? And they're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about, kind of thing. And they show me like a sale that they have on medical checkup or something.
Those are fixed prices.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the only fixed price you'll see. Like, that's the common thing that foreigners do. They come out here and do medical checkups. So that's one thing they'll give you, and they're like, our pricing is this.
Packaging.
Boom, 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 boom. This is what we include. But I went to so I ended up at Rama 9 Hospital at the very end because I'm like, I need to check this out. Let's see if it's different here. And then I heard something that I didn't hear from anywhere else, but now I think about it, if I probably insisted on it, the other places would do it. But I'm like, do I have membership pricing or whatever? But he's like, no, not really. But then if you have a work permit here, then, we give you the same price as a Thai. And I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, I do have a work permit.
Comfortable with that.
Huh?
And you're comfortable with that answer.
I'm actually comfortable because I know Thai people don't pay much at all. It's like really cheap out here, So I'm like, as long as I pay what Thai people will pay, yeah? So then I'm like, okay, so how do I get this done? How do I make sure, And then he's like, go to new registration, member registration over there, and then set it up, and then they'll take a photocopy of your work permit and put it in the record. And I'm like, all right. So I went over there, and then there's more confusion over there, and I'm like, because this one was like administrative sales or something, and that's like a administrative and processing area. But at the end of the day, they didn't even look at. I didn't have my work permit at the time, but I said I'll bring it because they said they were gonna call my work if I didn't have it to confirm. But I showed them my Tabiem bond, which is my yellow book.
House registration.
House registration because I own a condo. Well, actually, you could even get it without owning a condo. Like, Warren, one of the other vloggers, did it, and he did it under his girlfriend's father's household, etc. I mean, there's ways you can do it, but if you have a house, you can do that. So they said this is fine, and then they photocopied it, and I'm like, okay. And then I have the after they registered me in. Although they were like, why the heck are you registering when you don't even need to have anything done? I'm just like, I just want to make sure if I have a motorcycle accident or something, you guys aren't ripping me off, kind of thing, And then yeah, here you go. Sort of write about personal information, but here is my Rama 9. They even give you a member card.
They have a Rama 9 location behind of that.
Oh yeah, in case I get I keep it in my wallet. I try to keep it at the very top, so if I get in an accident or whatever, they take me to this hospital. And am I relatively comfortable with it? Well, first of all, I mean, does it satisfy my American OCD compulsive controlling? No, it doesn't. Not to that extent. But I guess that's one of the reasons I'm considering, basing myself out of another country. It's like, right now, I'm okay. I'm not gonna have any like very long-term issues that's gonna cost me a lot of money. And I've talked to, I like over the years I've gotten to know doctors and nurses out here, so it's a bit different for me. I have connections, I guess, so I'm not gonna get too ripped off. But
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
yeah, I mean like
My case too. I'm sure there's someone out there to help me out.
yeah, I mean
Like from my work.
it's
or-
important. You get like I'll say okay fine, I'll pay for whatever, and then they'll do it. And then if they like rip me off a lot, I'll probably call up one of the doctors. And the doctors here generally know all the hospitals because they like move around to different ones and have friends everywhere. So then they're like, hey, why are you like overcharging this guy? And then I'll probably get like a good price. And Thais basically they don't pay a lot at all. Like, what am I talking about? When I talk to this doctor, I'm like, I'm thinking about getting insurance, and I don't know how much I should get. Main thing that I'm concerned about, honestly, is just a motorcycle accident. Let's say I break like 368 bones, I'm like unconscious. How much do you think it'll cost? So I mean, I have insurance out there that I can buy that will cover me up to 100,000 baht, which is about 3,000 USD, and I'm like, I just don't think that that's enough. Like 3,000 USD for ICU, inpatient, all this, right? Like my American mind doesn't comprehend this because just the lab, is like $600 in America, right? With insurance. So he's like trauma ICU, yeah. I mean, there shouldn't be a case where it would cost more than 100,000 baht, And I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, cause that's the insurance that's out here. Like, you'll notice most of the insurance, it'll be like covering up to 100,000 baht, And if it's a lot, it's like 200,000 baht, $6,000. And then the premium is like each year it's like I'm having to pay like, I think it was like $200, $500. I forget exactly. No, that was for the 60,000 baht one because I had another one available to my work. But as you can see, it's
I checked for travel insurance. That means anywhere in Asia it does not cover me in the U.S. because I have separate U.S. health insurance, right?
yeah.
And it's $250 a month U.S.
A month.
Yeah, I mean, see, it's like, I don't want to advise you on this because let's say some shit happens, then knock on wood, I might be the guy.
No, it's from AIG. It's from a legit.
No, I'm not saying that isn't a legit insurance, but it's like, are you gonna justify spending that much money? 250. Yeah, I had another buddy of mine.
How long?
I had another buddy of mine paying
Okay,
$400, and I'm like, that one I could flat out tell you you're an idiot. Why are you paying $400 for insurance? And he's only like 5 years older than me.
He doesn't look really healthy. Yeah, but he took the surgery.
Wait a
Face
second. So he's about my same age then.
Huh? That guy, my friend,
Same age.
my friend is probably about the
Yeah.
same age as you. Yeah, he was paying $400 though, and the guy makes a lot of money, but he's like he doesn't know how to manage his finances. He's like, I should probably manage. I'm like, dude, I will, and his coverage wasn't that good either, and I'm like, dude, it's like you're paying $400, and then you do the calculation 4 times 12.
48.
Hey Siri, what is 4 times?
Oh my god.
12.
48.
It's 4,800.
Oh my god.
Wait, $48? What are you talking about?
Yeah, because
4,800 is
it's for $400.
times 12 is
12
48.
months.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, $4,800, right?
Yeah.
Now I don't do math at all. It's like I got Siri. Okay,
You
$4,800.
a mortgage broker?
Huh?
See? Are you
Are
mortgage?
you a mortgage broker?
Mortgage? I have a big ass mortgage loan calculator. No, I stopped doing math out here, buddy.
Yeah, but that should be your specialty is math.
Dude, it's 5-6 years. I used to do pre-calc in high school, and by the time I became a mortgage guy, I only started doing ratios. So I digress further. Another 5 years, I can barely do algebra.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, but it's like it's like it's a part of my brain I don't really utilize out here. Honestly, it's like I don't really care.
I understand. I mean, I'm just saying, I think in the beginning, I'm gonna buy it just for this peace of mind.
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad.
How long?
But how much is
How long do you think consider to doing that?
Well, what is the coverage amount? Why is it so expensive?
250,000 US.
Per accident? Per case?
I mean, where do you plan on traveling?
I just plan to hop around.
Like where?
Asia. Generally Asia.
Vietnam, Korea. Oh, wait a second, please.
His phone is like off his phone.
Yeah.
Give me his basic information. I have no idea who he is. So he's American.
He's American.
Trying to travel in Asia.
He's planning on retiring.
Oh, okay. Okay, he's retiring.
Early retiring.
All right, that sounds good.
No, he's not single.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about his personal life. But yeah, that's all you need to know.
Okay. He's almost retiring. Okay. That's because
Are you there, Joe? What? If I don't talk about it, I'm gonna forget right now.
So about the 25.
My train of thought.
Because I don't know how long he's planning to do that. It's like
200. You know what? 250 a month is not like 400 or 500 a month. So I was like,
no, that is your friend's case.
yeah.
4,800 per year.
Oh yeah.
4,800 per year. But it was your friend's case. But 250 for even 6 months is $900.
Hey, Ethan.
Yeah.
Hey, so right now you don't have any insurance at all.
No.
You're not worried?
Worried about what though?
Not having insurance.
Yeah, not having insurance because I see a lot of people,
Well,
take just that one catastrophe.
let me tell you this. I am worried, but it's beyond my control. So there's nothing I can do about it.
If you bought insurance, you'd be, you could sleep at night.
No, I can sleep at night.
He can sleep anywhere he wants.
But okay, so let me tell you my reasoning for why it's beyond my control. Okay, so
Yeah.
I already know I've had some issues, and then I go to a doctor, right? And I've paid out of pocket out here in Asia, and I can tell you it never exceeds $50. That's including prescription, everything. Okay, so the only catastrophe I can consider is a motorcycle accident. $3,000. I feel pretty comfortable about paying $3,000. I'll max out my credit card.
No. I don't mean a motorcycle accident.
Then what catastrophe though?
Like cancer.
Okay, so let me tell you about cancer, right? So
Cancer.
the insurance that's available out here for cancer is like they're gonna give me $3,000 and they're not gonna renew the next year. It's non-renewable. Now, the other option is I could pay $250, but that's travel insurance, and I'm pretty sure travel insurance doesn't cover for long-term cancer either. So it's like false sense of security. What I did consider though is they actually have cancer-only insurance out here.
There's a lot of comment.
Okay.
So catastrophic insurance.
It's not, well, just particular catastrophic issues. And cancer, it's a good thing that you brought cancer up. That's the one freaking catastrophic shit that I'm actually concerned about, right? Okay, so...
Yeah, that everybody's concerned about that.
Everybody's concerned about cancer, I get that. I mean, I don't think I'll get cancer in the next 4 or 5 years, but even so, it's like, it gives you peace of mind, right? So, I did look into cancer insurance, and that is something that I was looking into buying, and I'm trying to find a better deal. Now, cancer insurance works a little different because the possibility of you getting cancer is far less than, like, out here, if, like, it's a moral hazard having insurance because there is no deductible. Unlike America, they have the practice of deductibles. Generally, medical insurance out here doesn't have deductibles, so that's why Thais go for every little issue. They have a cold and then they get an IV and they see a doctor and they get inpatient, stay in a hospital overnight. You know, so that's why like unless you are of that train of thought, you know, that you need to go to a hospital over a cold or whatever, you're not gonna maximize the use of that insurance because it's priced out for you to be doing that kind of stuff, you know. And I'm not that kind of guy, right? I've been to I never used a hospital out here anyways. Like once in a while, like I had an issue with my gut, like because I was drinking a lot and I was just concerned, oh my gosh, maybe I have colon cancer or whatever. So I had the endoscopy and the colonoscopy thing done, and because I know family friends in Korea,
not in Thailand.
I got it done for $50. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole endoscopy, like, so like I go to Korea to get stuff done, and that's why like in the long run, for when I'm like in my 50s, 60s, 70s, and I'm gonna have very long-term healthcare issues, the only solution I see for myself is moving away from Thailand. Yeah, unless I had like a good savings. Like in your case though, if you have like, I think you said you're gonna have access to about $3,000, $4,000, $2,000 a month. I mean, come out here. I'm not gonna tell you myself. I'm gonna get so many comments about this. Just go to a hospital and talk to other people who have similar issues and ask how much it costs them to treat it. What the other day we saw some guy getting treated for, what was it, babe? On the news, he sued for double pricing and then he won.
The Spanish guy.
I did see someone getting treated for cancer. He's in Thailand too.
Okay, so
And
I think I know possibly who you are talking about, but that person went to the most ridiculously expensive
place.
hospital here. That's completely unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? And
you know who I'm talking about.
I'm not gonna talk about it. That person went to a hospital that is notoriously expensive. It's right across, like right next to mine. I have access to all the hospitals.
But we know who we're talking about, right?
Yeah, I mean, because it's like amongst Thailand vloggers we know, but that's not the norm. And first of all, insurance wasn't gonna help it anyways.
For long term, you mean?
I was told by another vlogger that, well, he stated it on his, channel that it would have helped it. He should have gotten it.
Theoretically.
He said that he should have gotten it.
Nah, theoretically. And then you would have another vlogger tell you, I had issues like this, and then I got declined for coverage because I had pre-existing conditions, and they searched back 3 years. You will just... The reason I don't want to talk about insurance and this kind of stuff is it opens up a troll door of people who are know-it-alls without actually experiencing it themselves.
Okay.
You have to go through the experience, and in my experience, I used to work for a bank, and it's like I know that private insurance is set up so that the house always wins. It's like over a long-term issue, the money you save on the premiums, you're not gonna get it back. Now, that person may have benefited if they got cancer insurance. So this is what I'm saying. Cancer insurance, on the other hand, when I was looking at it, the policy was gonna be, it was gonna cover not just like 3,000. Like in Thailand, the insurance is set up differently. So you can get just basic. There's like Social Security insurance, which allows you to go to like a government hospital, but that access to expats isn't really available. You got to be like long term and then have a work, and then they got to sponsor you. Even my work doesn't do it. It's complicated, but it's good health, it's good care, but you just have to wait a long time because everybody is using it. It's basically a universal healthcare kind of thing. Why do I think it's good healthcare? Because I have knowledge. I've talked to doctors who tell me, I just know how the healthcare, like, I don't want to get into it, but basically the same doctors that are at these private hospitals work at the government hospitals, and you're like, why would they work at a government hospital for free? Well, because the government hospital gives them all these incentives, such as they'll take care of their parents or whatever if they have issues, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, oh, wow. So they told me, yeah, you should go to these government hospitals because they have these top guys from this department, blah, 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 that also work at Bangkok Hospital, which is notorious for overcharging. And it's like, there's no use for you to go there unless you just want like a nice private room to stay at. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, I don't need that. I can be in a friggin' room with 4 or 5 other people. I don't care. Beggars can't be choosers kind of thing. Now,
Okay. I
you see
understand.
you see where I'm coming from, because for me to be able to afford insurance that is gonna cover for the amounts that we're talking about, catastrophic situations, I am gonna completely have to change my life to a point where I probably can't even live in Thailand anyways, so it's irrelevant for me to even discuss this. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying that it will probably be more than 250 a month.
I'm sorry?
So the cost would probably be over 250 a month.
For insurance?
Yeah, catastrophic. You said.
Okay.
That
It
you couldn't afford.
depends on how, yeah, like if you want really good insurance that is guaranteed renewable and you know, has the large coverage amounts that we're talking about, so that you can go to the top hospital here, which in my knowledge and my discussions with other doctors around here isn't necessarily that much better, but maybe they just have the brand name, you know? Then it's like, yeah. Honestly, you're gonna have to make that decision yourself. Do I need to go to, like, i.e. Bangkok Hospital or Bumrungrad Hospital, or am I just okay with Ramanine Hospital? You have to
Even
come
you
back.
can go to
Like,
government
if I tell you here and you're over there, you're thinking, Thailand's a third world country. I mean, if the best hospital there is probably just as good as a middle class hospital in America, but I mean, I don't think so. Like, top hospital here exceeds the top hospital in America. That's how I see it, you know? Unless you're talking about, like, St. Joseph. But even if you look at the rankings, like, Bumrungrad ranks above St. Joseph's, you know? And you know how expensive St. Joseph's is. I mean, you're from SoCal, right? I forgot if we're from SoCal. And John Hopkins, etc. These are, like, top hospitals in America, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, the top hospitals here literally rank in the top 10 hospitals in the world, just as far as the research facilities, etc. And even the middle tier private hospitals are significantly better than my experience going to, like, just a Kaiser. I used to have United Healthcare, so I used to go to, what's the other one that I used to go to? Memorial Systems. I like that hospital. But here, like, the service I get and the quality of care I get is very good, you know? I guess I'm not such a control freak anymore. Like, yeah, like, knock on wood, something could happen, the catastrophic thing could happen. And that is why I'm considering, well, in the long term, I need to maybe move out of here and get into a system where I feel more comfortable as an American, growing up in a system where I need to be able to have control over all of that, you know?
Hey, you can always go back to America.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, what issue is it? Like, let's say I get cancer. I'm totally screwed with cancer. Well, I could always just go back to America and collect whatever, you know, Medicare, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only thing that's going to prevent me from doing that is, like, a trauma of an accident type. And those actually don't cost a lot out here, relatively. You're not,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, in America, you get in a car accident, blah, 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 they ER you, blah, blah, blah. You're going to pay like $50,000 that you're screwed for life. I mean, $50,000 that would be of value. You probably have to pay $50,000 just to deliver a baby lately. But here, you're looking at, I mean, at most $10,000. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
my credit card limits are, like, quite high. I mean, maybe they'll decline it, but I have enough connections to make sure at least I'll, you know, get through the hump and I can go to America or whatever. You know, I pay my dues. I know how much, like, I've sort of almost maxed out my Social Security, Medicare benefits, etc. So it's like, that's the worst case scenario, right? So what can I do about it? But ideally, I think I want to base myself in a country that has insurance that's a little bit more reliable for foreigners like me, and also top care healthcare, top notch. And I think Korea. I heard like even Taiwan or even Malaysia. I don't know. I can't speak from experience for those. And Japan sort of strikes that good balance of
Singapore has good
affordable.
healthcare.
Singapore. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, like that balance of affordable healthcare, not like, actually anywhere is sort of better than America. America just overcharges when it comes to healthcare, and that is why I could understand, and I can understand how Americans approach insurance and healthcare. But I also know there is no way, like, I don't even want to make videos about this because there is no way as an American that's like so that's grown up in that system of this way absurd, overpriced American healthcare system to possibly comprehend the concept of I'm not gonna have insurance. Like it's like what the heck, you know?
I mean, that's the one thing that everybody worries about in America is
Yeah,
insurance.
yeah, for sure. I get that. I get that. America runs on insurance. I used to make a living off insurance. It, it,
Don't make the sound.
it's
I mean,
it-
believe it or not,
Yeah.
if your company doesn't offer good health insurance, a lot of people, even if it's well paid, people would just decline that job.
yeah. I heard it got even worse in the last 5 years. Like someone's telling me like Obamacare for them would have cost them $500 a month, and I'm like, what? What the heck?
That's cheap if it's $500 a month. That's
It-
cheap.
I mean, rent. It's absurd. It's so absurd. It's healthcare is just out of control. I mean,
You know, Obamacare is only good if you're getting subsidized.
basically, I mean, if you're smart about it and you want to play the system, be like me. You know, be poor. You know, and then Obamacare will work for you. But or be super rich. Be super rich, so that's not an issue. Or be
Well,
super
I'm
poor.
neither. I'm neither. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. The middle class always gets screwed in America. You know, that's just how it's set up.
I don't know if I even consider myself middle class.
I mean, I thought I was like reaching there. I remember when I was in my 20s, every one of us, we're talking about six figures. I want to make them six figures, you know?
Yeah, but
I made six figures and I felt like I was in poverty. And I'm like, holy crap. You know, like let's say I really make it and I start making like 300,000 a year. It's like how much better would my life be? Not really that much, honestly. You know, it's like you're still working paycheck to paycheck and trying to make ends meet. So
well, I mean, if you're making 300,000, pretty sure you're not gonna be living paycheck to paycheck. No.
no, I'm pretty sure you'll be living paycheck. I mean, I look at enough bank accounts in America to know what $200,000-$300,000 lifestyle will get you, and if you have $200,000 life, you have to, you know, just like my experience is when I was making 50-60K as a banker starting out, and then I compare my life with 100K. That's significantly more in income, right? And you would think
Yeah.
that extra 40 would all go into disposable income, and I'll be like living the life, but no. I mean, it's like when you're at 100K, you associate yourself with a 100K crowd, and they expect your house to have at least 2 bedrooms, not just like a 1-bedroom studio. So you have to get that, and then they don't expect you to be driving a Civic anymore. You have to get, and then these things add up, and then it exponentially goes up because the insurance cost goes up as well. You know all about that too, right? And then when you get married, then the costs really get out of hand. Then you multiply by every little kid you have, and then soon it's like, psh. And then these people that are making the 200-300K, that isn't free. For them to get to 200-300K requires that amount of investment into education. So like I would see them like Sally Mae and all those student loan deductions. Those people are living paycheck to paycheck. They're like dentists that are making like, you know, 10-12K a month are calling me saying, you know, why do I have overdraft fees? And I'm like, how the hell? And I like the first thing I'll notice is a direct deposit for 12, 13, 14K. And I'm like, okay, how the hell is he overdraft? And then there must be something wrong. Me too, thinking, going through their accounts, and I'm like, nope, this is right. You know, like, we just had a Sally Mae deduction for $4,000, and then we had this and this, and I'm explaining to him, and the guy is surprised himself. He's like, huh. And I'm like, it's not in my position to say, but maybe you should cut the country club membership that's costing $2,000. But then, you know, I talk to people who have country club memberships, you know, and I'm like, what? Like, Kyoto Hills is a country club that's near my place that all the Koreans, like the high-end Koreans, will get. And I'm like, what possesses you to pay $2,000-$3,000 a month for country club membership so that your wife can and your kids can go play golf maybe 10 times a month because they're too busy doing other shit anyways? And they're like,
well, I guess they network there.
That, yeah, not only do they see, I'm telling you, to get to that point, to make 200-300K, it's not free. It's not luck. They have to network. They have to maintain that network, that church crowd or whatever crowd that they run with. Their wife needs to be happy, you know? So they have to spend this. You know, they don't want their kids to be bullied because all the other kids that go to that same higher end, like Sunny Hills, like school, is gonna say, oh, you know, you don't golf, you know, why, you can't afford it, like your dad's not successful. It's like, the more you make, unless you start getting into the echelon of, I make, you know, a couple $1 million a year. I've even met guys who make $1 million a year still finding themselves struggling a bit, you know? But unless you start making it to like the 7-figure, you're still relatively living paycheck to paycheck because it requires you to keep up with the Joneses. And I say this because I can't even comprehend the expenses of a person that's making $1 million. I think they probably have it just as hard too. If they gotta probably throw like charity events, stuff like this. I don't know. You know, I'm not in that crowd. I can't empathize with them.
There's always an entrance fee.
Yeah, it's like it ain't free. You know, like I guess I had the privilege of being exposed to that crowd because I was in banking without actually having to make that money. It ain't cheap to keep up the appearances, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't even know how he sequestered into this, but I guess that's sort of why I like living in Asia. It's like things are more affordable. The system here is set up where if you're poor, also like, you know, you have an ability to pay, then they'll just take what they can get and they let you live. Yeah, have I would have at least you know, $20,000. Yeah, I know you got more than that in savings. Just to take care of short-term healthcare issues. Worst case scenario, you can go back to America and you can hold your head up high because you'll just be right back with everybody else grinding away. What's the difference, you know? You're still grinding.
Yeah.
They're still grinding. It's like, just do it, you know?
Well, the purpose of me, you know, traveling to Asia is I don't want to be grinding anymore.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know if you've heard my talk before about it, but the mentality I had was this. I already accepted that my life was dead in America. Like, I was physically alive, but pretty much to sum it up, I was dead anyways, you know? I saw myself being a slave, repeating this process, and then if I'm lucky, maybe I'll get to retirement age, and then I'll probably be spending all of my savings in long-term healthcare. But statistically, I saw myself probably dying of stress-related diseases in my 40s or 50s, you know? And it's like, especially now, after I saw my grandfather, and we're going through this issue of, should we stick a pipe down his mouth and keep him in a vegetable state so he just stays alive physically? Or should we just let him pass with dignity? Kind of thing. It's like a lot of these experiences for me has only affirmed that I made the right decision. It's like that is like a that's me seeing my grandfather in a physical situation where he has to be in a vegetable state. But I sort of saw my life as in a vegetable state in America, you know? Maybe some people have nice work-life balances, they have nice families, whatever, but that wasn't the fortune I had, you know? My situation was, I was lonely, I was working my ass off, I was in a vegetable state, I'm just like, yeah, I'm like,
physically,
I
mentally.
might as well have been in the Matrix, you know? I could so relate to this. Like, I might as well have just been in VR, just stuck up on it with a tube. It's just like, whatever. Like, and the only enjoyment I got was like the 2-3 hours I had a day that I could play video games or watch Netflix or something. So yeah, I was living in virtual reality, right? So I knew if I didn't make a drastic lifestyle change, and the only way I saw myself doing that was getting out of America, because if you're in America, you know, you have these overhead costs, you have to pay for insurance, you have to do this, you can never get ahead, you know? So and it's like, it's, you know, I want to get into the, okay, I'm not even gonna get into that, but to finish off this point of view, I had to get out, and I'm like, you know what, even if I blow my savings, I kill myself in the next few years, like having a wild fun time out here when I still can and have the ability to do it, I'm happy with it. That was a mindset I had. Like, that's how desperate I was, you know?
Well, you succeeded then.
Yeah, I lived 5 years already, right? I even have a nice girlfriend, right? I mean,
you basically, you're living on borrowed time.
Me living now and even freaking worrying and talking to you about what I'm gonna do in my 50s and 60s and 70s in long-term healthcare is a success story for me. You know what I'm saying? So I hope I hope my viewers puts that into perspective, like where I'm coming from. I was dead. I'm like, I might as well just die. I was so depressed, you know? I was in a situation where I could understand why people commit suicide. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna have 3-4 years of fun. At least I could say I had 3-4 years of fun. It's better than me just dying a slow, miserable death, being a friggin' cog for the system for the next 30-40 years, and then just physically dying slowly on long-term healthcare. You know? What kind of life is that? So,
Ethan.
Yeah.
Can I suggest one thing though? I mean, since you already have all that info, I think you should make a video on, you know, all the hospitals to go to, you know, while you're in Thailand.
But you shouldn't recommend only one hospital.
No, I'm gonna
you
get
have to put like
options.
Like
this is. No, I sort of do. I already shot one. And it's not like, I'm not going to recommend the hospital. Because the thing about stuff like this here is, I feel very responsible if shit hits the fan and something happens. So I'm just, I sort of show this. That's why I sort of do my vlogs in a way where I just show you my experience. And you take from it what you can and make your own decision. I'm not going to tell you to do that, you know?
Oh, okay, I understand that.
But, I mean, being that this is a Patreon live stream, I'll sort of tell you, in my experience, where I went is Rama 9 Hospital, you know? I think it struck a right balance. I walked through the departments, I was relatively comfortable with how clean it was, how fast they processed me, and based on what I heard from other people, like nurses and, you know, medical sales assistants, other doctors, Rama 9 Hospital's not bad, you know? I absolutely don't care. I might enjoy being in a room with 3-4 other people instead of being like pampered alone and lonely in some expensive private room. I don't know. That's just me. You know?
By the way, I plan to come to Rama 9 too.
Live in Rama 9, right? Yeah.
Well,
the thing is, if you're in Rama 9, you have access to all the top hospitals. It's right around this neighborhood. Like, I could look out my window, I see
1, 2.
Rama 9 Hospital, and then Bangkok Hospital, Rama 9 Hospital, Bumrungrad Hospital is over there, 10 minutes, and Piavet Hospital is literally right next door to me, and then you have, what was that? Oh, that's Smetivej, which is really good, like 15 minutes from me as well. So it's like, you have access to a lot. It's like, you just sort of have to pick one and just be comfortable with it. It's just
Yeah.
and hope for the best.
See, I even set up a budget for myself already too.
Oh yeah.
So, and I asked you about that budget, and you said that seems reasonable, right?
No, the budget that you told me is way beyond reasonable. Now, when it starts getting into like these catastrophic incidents, you can never budget for that, buddy. It's like you never know. I mean, what if catastrophically like America gets into a war with China? How are you gonna plan for that? Like it's like there's only so much we can do.
If you get into a war, it's gonna be the end of the world.
Yeah, pretty much. Like there's only so much you can do. Just control what you can for the time being. Enjoy it, and I'm hoping that you have the same experience as me, which is I literally came out here okay that I'll die in the next couple of years. And not only
That's
did
not
I
what I'm hoping though.
yeah, you're probably a bit more reasonable than me, but with me, my expectation was quite low. So for me, everything is a cherry on top. Not only did I find out that Thailand, now you have enough vloggers like us telling you, like, Thailand isn't any, like, third world, Bangkok isn't third world, like, there's parts of Thailand that definitely are. But Bangkok definitely isn't, like, third world country. It's modern, everything is very convenient, very safe. I mean, we talk about this all the time. My sister, she lives in Bay Area, right? Like the top area in America. She freaks out. I just put my camera down on the street just to walk 5 steps so I can shoot something walking over, and she's like, "Oppa, I'm so nervous for you. Like, you would never do that in San Francisco. Someone would steal that camera." And I'm like, "What? It's like 5 steps away from me. I'll go run over and tackle this guy." It's like, no, but it's, and I'm like, what kind of mindset do you have that someone's gonna steal my crap that's just 5 steps away from me, like in a public area? And she's like, yeah, Oppa, I'm like, I would never think that, nowhere, even Vietnam, which is pretty rough and tough out here for Asia, I still would do that. You know what I'm saying? And my aunt and uncle, they got a rude awakening. They lived in Korea all their lives, in Thailand. They go to America. The first night, he gets his $5,000 camera gear stolen out of his rental car, and he's like, and I'm like, did you not put your gear in the trunk? And it's like, this is so common sense for us Americans, right? He's like, no, I just left it in the back seat. It's like, to him, it's like, that's what I do in Thailand. That's what I do in America. No, you don't. They'll steal it. So, this is a kind of juxtaposition, do we say? The mentality. Americans live in an actually relatively dangerous country, and they think another country that's significantly safer than theirs is more dangerous, So I can only imagine how much, danger they're expecting out here, So it's like, Yeah, but I came out here, and I was blown away. I was like, not only am I not dying, it's much safer. It's not that bad. There's gonna be definitely people that are gonna put hater comments and go, "Oh, you're gonna find out in 4 or 5 years. It's not so great." It's already 4 or 5 years. I still love it. I'm doing fine. It's 4 or 5 years. My condo, my condo hasn't broken down. I'm halfway through my break even for my rental cost. And the prices have only gone up. I mean, everything that everyone's ever hated me on about, I could say, I won. You're wrong. Go back to your country, because now, housing cost is up, so you can't afford to stay here. Bye bye. That's I'm relatively okay with the choices I've made so far. But
no, that's great.
Not to say, I'm pragmatic about it, though. I know the pros and cons.
But you also said that you're going to move to Korea, though, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm still pragmatic about it. It's not that I don't know the downsides of Thailand. There definitely are. It's not necessarily cons per se, but there's pros of other countries over Thailand. And I'm in a stage of my life where I want to take advantage of those pros. And that isn't to say that Thailand is bad. I mean, I don't plan on selling this place at all. I want to always return back to Thailand. Hopefully for...
your home base.
Yeah, I mean, even though I'm saying I want to make Korea my home base, I actually hope to spend less time there. Just spend the minimum time to make money and be out here just enjoying
Yeah, but
myself.
why do you need to go to Korea and make money? You're doing fine right now.
I'm not doing fine, man. I'm making like this month I only made $300.
Yeah, but you also have to add in, you know, your YouTubing and stuff like that.
My YouTubing I made like between Patreon and YouTube I only made $200.
Oh, damn. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
You know, people think I make a ton of like I know how to like you know my cost of living I said like my final calculation I think it was $800 a month, right?
But it's really 500, you said, right?
Yeah, but like like people are like you're underestimating. I'm like if anything I overestimated because you know
Yeah, but the one main thing that you didn't put in is because of the healthcare.
well
A lot of people factor that in.
yeah, a lot of people factor that which could get like completely out of hand, and that's what I'm saying. If you're trying to factor in
Also,
healthcare
extending your visa.
to an I'm sorry.
Also extending your visa. A lot of people jump around. You know, they gotta pay to fly somewhere else and then come back.
It's not that bad. Even when I was doing okay, think about it. Every 3 months, you fly somewhere. $60, $30 there, $30 back.
And then the visa extension fee.
Visa extension fee is like $30.
Yeah. Oh, that's still money. I'm just saying,
Anyways,
Yeah.
but the thing is, I don't think anybody that is only on a $500 budget should be
Doing this
Should be in
lifestyle.
Thailand.
should be in Thailand.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
unless they have a full-time job. I mean, okay, so this is why I don't think I'm misleading people. You have to realize the only reason I am working part-time and making $500 is because my main primary like passion that I'm pursuing is filmmaking and YouTube. And,
Yeah.
and in that video, I clearly show I spend far more time on this YouTube, which makes less money, just because I'm passionate about it. I like it, right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right. So if YouTube wasn't an issue, I could just go and get a full-time job teaching English, and actually it's not that much more work. Instead of working 2.5 days, I work 5 days a week, and in some ways it's less work because at these schools I only like teach like 3-4 hours a day, and the rest of the time it's like I'm prepping for classes, and they will pay me starting 40,000 baht, and then like now I'm experienced I'll probably get about 70,000 baht, which is a little over $2,000. That's a significant jump from my $500 budget. You know what I'm saying?
Over 2,000, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So and that's what I'm looking at. Like
That's like 2,300.
so either like I just showed you an extreme because people are like it costs so much money in Thailand in Bangkok to live. I'm like, no, you could literally live for $800 if you could. I'm doing it, but
you
that's not what I
if you
recommend.
had a-
I don't recommend you live. If I recommend you live a better life than that. But yeah, I mean, people see my life and they're like, oh, for his kind of lifestyle, he's spending like at least like $2,000-$3,000 a month, and I'm like, bro, I'm living actually a very humble life. That was a.
Yeah, but there's an asterisk with yours too. Remember, you have you helping it out.
But why wouldn't? Okay. So this is a whole other thing, and this really gets on my nerves. Thinking that
No, I
every
don't mean to offend you. No. I don't mean to offend you. I'm sorry.
no, I'm not offended
I don't mean it that
with
way.
my
I don't
situation
mean
with
it that
Mayu.
way.
I'm not offended with my situation with Mayu, but I'm offended with the concept that everybody believes that when you come out to Asia here, you're gonna have to pay for your girlfriend. Like I remember, I threw in that
I didn't
segment
say
there.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean it that way. No.
No.
I didn't mean it that way.
No, but then no. Well, let me tell you. Before I met Mayu, the Thai girls I met were offering to literally fund my whole life.
Wow.
So the norm should be that your girlfriend should be helping you out. You know? They should be helping you out 50-50. And,
Yeah.
and that's what we expect in America. That's what you should expect out here. Now, if you come here with the expectation that you're gonna pay for your girlfriend, believe you me, there's like people that'll. I mean, if you're in the expectation, you can speak for me as well. If you're in America with the expectation that you're gonna pay for your girlfriend, there's plenty of girls out there you're gonna pay significantly more for. You know, I've had experiences, you've had experiences, right?
Yep.
It's the same out here. If you come out here with the expectation that, oh, I'm gonna pay a dowry, I'm gonna pay for girls, blah blah blah, yeah, but
You mean Sinside? You mean Sinside?
yeah, but my experience actually, and I say this from the bottom of my heart, and that's why it really bothers me. This is what bothers me, because my experience is that particularly Thai women in Thailand will pay more for their equal share than my experience of women in America or even Korea.
Yeah, but you're not with a Thai woman though. You're with more westernized.
Well,
girl.
that's because of my personal preference, but I'm actually paying more
Yeah.
because I am. Because Mayu makes sure I
Yeah,
split
yeah.
everything down the middle. My other friends,
Yeah, no, I understand.
my other
Because I
friends,
figured
like,
you're more westernized.
yeah,
That's why.
that's just my preference. Now, I can take care of myself. I don't need Mayu. And the pricing that I did on my cost of living for $800, I did it not. I overestimated even if Mayu wasn't helping me out. Remember, I calculated the electric cost, and I
Yeah, no,
even
I seen it. I
and,
saw it. I saw it.
and like a third of my cost was from grocery shopping costs, right? And believe you me, when I was living alone, that grocery shopping cost a week looked more like 200-300 baht.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not feeding two mouths with that grocery shopping. And you saw that most of what we eat is what we make. That's why that was a significant part of the cost. And I didn't like cut that in half and say, we spent 800 baht, but because it's for two people, I'm going to cut it in half and I'm going to do 400 or something. So I'm really overestimating, and I see, I guess I have the privilege in this situation or the knowledge to know, because I'm probably with the lowest paying kinds of job, which is being a teacher. So I have other teachers around me. And I know the kind of income they make and the kind of lifestyle they live. And it ain't this humble like me. Trust me. And they have a humble income compared to, i.e., like most of the people that I see coming out here that watch my channel from the States, which is like you on a nice little retirement, or I had several other guys come that were able to transfer through international companies like with Price Waterhouse and etc., and they're getting paid like the same amount they're getting paid in the States, but with experiencing like the low income here, and they're just really living the life. Like throwing $1,000 a weekend is like $1,000 here partying is really good. $1,000 partying in America, that'll get you what, 2-3 bottles and a table. $1,000 here is a lot,
Yep.
Yeah. So, the costs are quite low, and in all reality, everything as far as like visa processing, the income you'll make, it's good. But the big, if there is a catch, there's one catch I do want to say. I have some kids who are like 19 years old contacting me,
What?
Yeah.
No.
And that they want, and I'm like, dude, get yourself an education first, or plan on getting an education out here, because actually, knowing what I know now, I should probably got my college degree out in Asia, because it's so cheap out here. It's like tuition costs are ridiculously low.
Well,
But like,
at 19 years old, they want to come to Thailand already. Wow.
but actually, there's a lot of 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds out here, and if knowing what I know now, I should have,
Yeah, but you wouldn't have been able to buy your condo at that time, would you? of?
No, if they come with, that's what I'm saying. They're contacting me with the expectation they're gonna live my kind of lifestyle at that age. No, you're gonna have to put in your dues one way or another. Like I'm pretty old school Asian in that sense. Get your education, you know. And out here in Asia, a college degree is really important. That's the rude awakening that a lot of non-Americans get. Actually, in America, I think we have a culture where the expectation is you have to get a college degree. It's like we actually are quite Asian in that sense, I guess. But like some of the English expats I see out here, getting a college degree, they tell me, isn't really a thing back in England. You know, a lot of them just like they have this system like when they're 17 they can just choose to not even go become a senior and then just start apprenticing, like become an apprenticeship, and then just like work for a union or some crap, and I don't know, like so
I mean,
yeah.
but what about for people that already paid their dues already? Do you suggest people, just hop around Asia and just live off a certain amount of budget and just enjoy?
Okay, so yeah, I don't think that should be a permanent thing. As I'm demonstrating, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. There should be the people that put in their dues. The people that should be able to relate to me are the people that put in their dues.
Yeah, but
like,
but I'm saying if you have a set amount coming in each month, like what I told you my budget is, right?
Yeah.
You know you're getting it every month.
yeah,
You would stay in Thailand. Yes or no?
no,
No?
no. And I explained in the previous one why. Because to me, it makes no sense. The world is big out there. Even if this is the best country.
No, yes. No. I understand what you're saying. I meant Thailand would be your home base. You would travel around, but you would still keep coming back to Thailand. You wouldn't go to Korea to work or anything. I mean, you would just travel.
No, I would still base myself out of Korea for insurance purposes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, insurance purposes, pension purposes, and you
Wait a
know,
second, you could still get a pension in Korea?
yeah, you know how crazy it is? Like, you know how well these like young kids that go out there have it? So they go out there and they get a college degree for cheaper than what Koreans pay, because these Korean universities want foreigners in there to up their status or whatever, so they pay less than Koreans in tuition, and it's already really cheap. So it's like $2,000 a year or like a semester or something, some ridiculously small amount. And then they teach English on the side, so they're making good income off of that. And then all that money goes into a pension system. And Korea is like, once you finish, like, you're only there for 4, 5, 6 years, right? And then they move back to their home. Because they're moving out of the country, they'll get all that pension that added up, like nice interest. Like I heard somebody tell me they're getting like close to like 16% a year on this thing that they're putting, this pension that their employers are putting away. And they got all that tax free. I was like, what the heck? Shoot, if I knew this, I would have done this when I was a kid, you know? Like, there I was, Army Reserve, working part-time at the bank, you know? And then, you know, going to school full-time. You know, putting in like 80 hours a week. I don't know. It's like crazy. I had like 2-3 hours of sleep a day just to try to not to go in debt. And then, yeah, and that's how I put myself through college. And these kids are just like, we're having the time of their life, partying every weekend.
Right now, if you were to go to Korea and put in 6 years of straight working, you would get a nice pension that consists.
Oh no, I'm sorry. The pension there is more like a 401k. But they have a nice return on it. The pension system.
And that's guaranteed or what?
It's like a 401k, yeah. I mean...
Yeah, but 401ks are never guaranteed though. It's on the market. It depends on the market. You have up years, down years, you know?
Well, relatively, what it seems like is Korea has been doing everything to make sure that doesn't
Unless
drop.
the government is subsidizing it.
I don't know exactly how it works, but I mean, don't quote me too much on this that you're gonna get 16%, but that's what I've been told. Like, I was talking to some of the girls out there and they're like, yeah, like, this has been good. Like, I put it in here and it, like, you know, doubled the money, and it's like, I've been here like for 6 years, I'm leaving, and it's like double the money. I should have done more, you know? You should do this if you're gonna start teaching out here. And I'm like, oh,
Okay.
I'm like, that's pretty nice, you know? Is it guaranteed? I don't think anything's guaranteed. I mean, the government can subsidize it, but we can get into a trade war and hyperinflation can happen. I mean, if you talk about it, there's no guarantee of anything, you know? But are the governments gonna do everything in their power to try to make sure that doesn't happen? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, who knows? I mean, if we're talking in that sense, like this kind of, if we're trying to prevent this kind of catastrophic issue, it's irrelevant for me to even discuss hedging against that risk, and it boils down to have your fun now. In the next 2, 3, 4 years, while the world is still going around, it's still great, you know? And when, you know, like, excuse my French, shit hits the fan, you're gonna just go back to America and grind away just like the rest of your buddies. But your buddies were on this false sense of security that, oh, if they're grinding away while you're having fun, they're gonna have a better retirement or blah blah blah. But they're just as screwed. Except you could go back and you have you know, had at least 4 or 5 years of traveling around and having fun. And most likely you will find that that level of fun can be maintained, you know? But you'll it's like that was the cherry on top for me. I thought I was gonna die in 3, 4, 5 years if I come out here, get food poisoning, whatever. And I'm still out here doing alive and well. People, like, I remember my buddies are saying, you're in 2 years, you're gonna use up all the money you saved and you're gonna come right back with your tail between your legs. I mean, this is the kind of shit I used to get, like, messages on my Facebook.
Yeah, but you had a lot. You brought a lot over.
I put it out, I'm sorry, what?
I mean, you brought a lot of money over. A lot of people that go over to Thailand, they don't bring that kind of sum that you're bringing.
I didn't bring a lot of money over. I sold my condo and then I ended up with like just like it's not like I paid. It's just I just got the equity off of it, off of the 3, 4, 5 years old. And then the first so what I regret, but I sort of don't regret, is the first year when I looked at it, I spent $40,000. So, but
yeah, but you had $40,000 worth of fun.
Yeah, that's like $40,000 is what you're gonna spend to maintain your life, like on a measly, like, you know, like kind of like being in America. If I made 40,000 USD in America, that is a crap life by all means. At least in California, right? So to me, $40,000. And I didn't make vlogs during that time. I was just too busy like partying every night. I mean, there's a reason my liver started to have issues. Those are $40,000 that was well spent. Believe you me, it made me who I am right now. And then I threw in another $50,000 to buy this condo. And like I said, I'm already like $25,000 of savings of rent into it now. So I'll break even in another 5 years.
No, I understand, but that means you brought almost 6 figures out.
Yeah, but what is that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a lot.
There's people, trust me, there's people that go out to Thailand I've seen on these vlogs that going out there with 5,000.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, that's possible. And relative to relative to their life, imagine how much of a crap life they must have been having if they only have $5,000 in savings. Like, think about it. And
that means you're eating pad thai every day. Street food.
Okay. Joe, you're not relating to these people. I sort of know it because I was in the army. These guys that may only have 5,000. 5,000 is actually a lot. A lot of people, most, like, they say Americans are in net debt 50-60%, right? These people have really pitiful lives in America. Like, at least I was in sunny California, OC, you know, living the life. I had a company credit card, treating myself out to my extras once a month. And I thought that was miserable. And I'm enjoying this, you know? These people are stuck in some small town, middle of nowhere in Hicksville, who knows where. And the highlight of their month is going to Chili's.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the problem I had when I went to the army, and why I probably wasn't as an effective of a leader. It's something that I learned in my past, and something that humbled me, and I couldn't relate to those people. Like to me, to them seeing me, I was privileged, but I'm acting like I'm complaining. So this kind of stuff is all relative. But I think those people that are coming out with $5,000 and having that $5,000 of fun, to them is the equivalent exponential amount of fun I had compared to my $40,000 life back there, coming out with $100,000. You know what I'm saying? So,
no, I understand.
And at the end of the day, I think Thailand is a temporary fun place. Let me tell you that again. Thailand is a temporary fun place. Okay, so I think you should eventually base yourself out of somewhere that's gonna give you a more stable, long-lasting immigrant status. Thailand isn't that. That's the one thing it doesn't have. So it's like Thailand is designed for you to come out here with not that much money and have a blast. And that vacation, because it doesn't require that much, can be maintained for decades. Like what place, like, could you ask for any more from an amusement park?
Yeah.
But it gets old, and some people come, like, I don't want to mislead anyone to come out here with an expectation, this is anything else other than that they're gonna come out here, marry a Thai person, be respected by everybody in the community, they're gonna settle roots here, and the whole government's gonna respect them for who they are. No, you're still small pond in a fish, just like anywhere else,
I agree.
Yeah, so but Thailand is still relatively gonna be respectful to you. They're gonna treat you with respect. It's just how the culture is out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once you get to that point where I still love Thailand, I still think Thailand is like the best place, right? But there was this like analogy that I gave. I don't know if I gave it in the previous one, but I opened the window, I was looking outside, and I remember my aunt has a similar condo, and I did the same thing the first time I came here. And there was this sensation that I got, like I could smell the spices in the air, that warm, humid weather, and I see the hustle and bustle down below, and I'm going, wow, this is so exotic. It's like sensory overload. And then I did this 5 years later right now, and I do it, and I'm like, I don't feel anything. You know what I'm saying? That means I'm already used to it. I'm taking it for granted.
Yeah.
So I think the distance makes the heart grow fonder. And I realized even my videos themselves, like, it's really hard for me to, I don't fake emotions. I don't try to hype any, like you see me, I try really hard not to hype something, because I don't want to mislead someone to think it's better than what it actually is. So I think I'm a bit more pessimistic than I am. I'm always like, at the end of the day, after even a food show, I say, okay, I'm going to give it a 4.1 rating, not a 4.9. And then the rating is 8.5. Like, so with me, like, it's like, this isn't, I don't have that same feeling. I want that loving feeling. What was that song?
What? Flash dance?
Is that what it is? What is it, babe? What is that song?
No, it's not I Got
I want that loving feeling. I want to have that feeling again. And I think the only way for me to do it is I need to get the heck out of here to appreciate it. And I keep telling everybody, travel. Even if you are 100% sure, and I'm like 90% sure you're going to come to Thailand and you're convinced that Thailand is the best place, even after you travel, you're still going to think that, but you're going to appreciate it more by traveling. And that is something that you didn't see me do, so you assume that I'm one of these people that just came to Thailand, I'm just brainwashed, and Thailand is great, like, that's it, one stop solution answer to all your problems, come to Thailand, But I was very specific to point out the reason I like Bangkok is because you can travel, And by going to Vietnam and seeing what they're doing right that they're not doing right here, but what negatives that causes, and how overall that I prefer Thailand better over Vietnam, that makes me appreciate Thailand more. Same thing with Cambodia, Laos, like Singapore, an overdeveloped country. Why things are more expensive, I'd rather have it less expensive and have it more real out here, etc. And I guess by experience, I am 100% sure in my head that Thailand is the best place. There is not a thing any freaking troll on my channel could say to change that otherwise. It doesn't impact me at all. I get these comments every day that you don't see because I just hide these guys, you know. It's just, I don't even want to hear it. It's like stupid. Like, oh, you're gonna be there, you're only there for a year. I'm like, dude, I've already been here for 5 years. You're only there for a year. You're so fresh. You're gonna like start seeing the real Thailand and hate it, you know, in another 3 years. And I'm like, no, dude. I saw the real Thailand. I'm not an idiot. I'm pretty pragmatic. I see the pros and cons, and I accept the cons, and I'm here appreciating the pros. But I'm pragmatic enough to know what Thailand isn't, you know. And one thing it isn't a place for you to make money, build a career, and have a safe, like, you know, long-term medical healthcare plan for when you're very old, you know, unless they change some policies and provide universal healthcare for foreigners, just like, you know, locals, and not do two-tier pricing, you know. But right now, I can appreciate why they have two-tier pricing, why they do this, why they do that. Why? Because the same people that complain about certain things don't realize that the other thing would impact it, you know? Imagine this. You got a lot of people complaining that the Thai baht is strong, that the government isn't doing anything about it, you know? That they're making lives miserable for us. Well, first of all, the reason that the Thai baht is strong against certain currencies is not the fault of Thai baht or what Thailand's doing. It is the fault of your country and your policies back home that are causing your currency to degrade against Thailand. Because I can tell you, as a matter of fact, as an American, the USD hasn't degraded much against Thai, you know? Because, I mean, I'm not going to say everything back home is great, but at least we're not screwing it up that much, right? Right?
It's appreciated 10%.
But it's not like 40, 50 like some of these other guys. It's like I feel for them, but at the same time, I'm like, you can't blame Thailand for that. You know what I'm saying? And if anything, the reason why the currency is going up is because you still have too many people wanting to come here, invest, throw their money in here, retire here. So the only thing they can do to make the Thai baht depreciate is actually like discourage people from coming to Thailand. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So.
Hey, by the way, do you need to put in the certain amount of baht into your bank account now, or no?
That is the retirement visa and the marriage visa.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I'm not sure about the marriage visa, but I know definitely for the retirement visa. Before they were doing this thing where.
Yeah, you have to show.
You have to show, but does it have to be in a Thai bank account, or could it be in a foreign account still?
Yeah, maybe. But you have to like.
No, now I heard that it has to be in a Thai bank account, right?
I know for retirement for sure, but I'm not sure if it impacted the marriage. But I mean,
Well, I can't even get a retirement visa even if I wanted to. I'm not old
it's
enough.
relevant. Before, for the tourist visa, I remember I always had a copy of my bank account statement and how much assets I had, and I had to show like at least a couple $1,000s. It's not that much, but
Oh, okay.
half the times, actually most of the times, like 90% of the times, they never even asked for it, even though that was a requirement. I guess they're selective about it depending on the embassy, but I don't know, like, I haven't done a tourist visa for a while now. But, yeah.
Alright, I mean, thanks for all the good info, but I have to cut it short right now. I gotta go. I have another meeting to attend.
We're not cutting it short, buddy. Yeah, it's good. I'm gonna now just wrap up and answer the comments that I'm sure I've had. But thanks for hopping on, and
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
No, yeah, absolutely. But hopefully you got some good info out of this, and saw behind the lines of everything, you know.
Yep,
and
I did.
yeah, I'm trying my best just not to mislead you.
No,
So yeah,
no, you're right.
yeah. All right.
Okay. Anyway, thank you, and thank you, Mayu, too, okay?
Yeah, we'll chat more, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, okay. Let's see, Mayu, you weren't. But then again, I was like going off. So.
I heard you were talking about the cost of living. After that, I just.
Hi guys, leaving Thailand. I think I sort of explained what I'm not doing. Hi again. Oh, what's up, Nick? Nick is back on.
Thank you for the treat.
Yeah. Now for the other thing I want to say is, if you want to retire out here for retirement visa, now they have a new mandatory.
Babe, that's for me, babe. That's for me.
Mandatory health insurance requirement.
Oh yeah. This is like kind of big news.
It's super big news.
They're talking about they require health insurance for all those retirees.
Yeah, right now I think you only have private options available, which is gonna be expensive.
More expensive.
So you can't really retire for too cheap out here.
Yeah.
I think the policies for people who are retiring out here is particularly hard. I want to say that. And the thing is, most of the vloggers out here I see are retirees. So you're probably going to get like a skewed perspective. But to their credit, I do believe that to retire out here, it's getting harder. People who want to study out here still, work out here, or travel out here, it's impacted us not much. I haven't really had all the policies that people are complaining about. It hasn't really impacted me. But I think the people who are retiring out here, that's impacted them the most, the policies. So yeah, I can empathize with it. And again, that's why I say I don't see myself staying in Thailand until I retire, I'm planning on eventually phasing myself out of here and just having Thailand as a vacation home. And unless, policies change, where, I don't see like double tier pricing or like, I see a way that I could literally be treated the same way as a Thai. I'm gonna phase myself eventually out here. And I'm not saying that this is the bad thing that Thailand's doing or anything. I want to make that clear. This is their choice. This is their policy. And I think it's in their sovereign right to do so. Thailand is not like swimming in deep water. They have their own issues to figure out. You have a lot of tourists coming in, polluting the place, trashing the place. Just look at how much the coral reefs have died around Thailand. So Thailand is literally wasting itself away for us tourists. So it is only right that they seek some kind of compensation for it. And the way they do it, it's up to them. But, it's not in my place to insist that Thailand becomes a great place to retire, It's just what it is. It's a great place to travel to, have a vacation at, but I think for you to settle roots down in, I'm leaning more towards East Asian countries, more developed countries. And I believe in 20, 30 years when it will be time for me to retire, Thailand will be just the same and developed and will have the same, complaints that we have about developed countries. Prices are higher, etc. I expect Thailand to be super modern, top class city in 20, 30 years, comparable to any top city in the world. Prices should be, reflecting that and just as expensive. So don't have any kind of like weird false sense of expectation that inflation doesn't exist, that the law of inflation doesn't exist out here in Thailand. It's gonna happen. So yeah. Ooh, I was talking to one of the Patreons. I think you jumped on a little later. I remember my medical bills from my UF day is really, really scary. Luckily, my government and insurance pay it for me. Still has some American friend complain about the medical system in USA till this day. Bless you. I can see that happen in. Some guy said there is a video on YouTube that says San Francisco is okay. But what is wrong with how you are living? Honestly, there's nothing wrong with how I'm living. I really enjoy how I'm living. The reasons that triggered my want to accelerate my process of transitioning into like going to Korea, etc., is more personal. I talked about it before, but my grandfather's sick, and I believe that it's time for me to spend some time with my family before they get older. So it's really personal. Nothing with Thailand. I love Thailand, and if I can, I want to continue. I still want to come back as much as I can and spend time out here. So nothing with how I'm living. I'm really comfortable with the situation I am, and I enjoy living out here, but it's my personal reasons. And I just sort of got to see the bright side of it, you know? Nothing I can do about the situation with the health of my family and that people are aging. You know, death waits for nobody. So I'm doing that, and I'm trying to see the positive in it, you know? And me and Mayu had this talk. Do we see ourselves retiring in Thailand? And we don't, you know? I'm sorry, I know maybe a lot of you guys want to hear this, that you should come here and it's a one-stop solution, you should be here forever, but no, we don't. We don't see ourselves retiring in Thailand unless something happens to change that, which I'm not holding my breath for. I just see it as a vacation home, you know? So initially I was thinking of staying here another few years or whatever before I start transitioning my life and trying to make money and, you know, get comfortable with the system outside. But given that my family situation, you know, I'm trying to see the positive, that I'm sort of accelerating this process. And also, it's just my income situation has been not good at all, guys. So I have to make money, and with the laws out here, there is no legal way for me to make money other than, you know, the few $100s I make teaching English. So, you know, I honestly survive off of your donations. And I really appreciate all the Patreons on here that help me out. Every little bit counts, guys, you know. You might think, oh, $10, you know, what could you do with it? But you see, like, I only make like $500. $10 goes quite a long way, you know. That will feed me for that's dinner for 3 days. So, yeah, I definitely appreciate all of it. But I can't be living like this, you know, living off charity and off like $300 for the rest of my life. You know, I have a bit more pride than that. I have to find a way to earn some income somehow, and the answer certainly doesn't lie in Thailand. You know, unless somebody offers me a fantastic job that allows me to travel all the time, pays me a lot of money, it's like I'm not holding my breath for that. I gotta go to a country where I am not limited by the laws as far as how I can earn an income, and try to make it or break it out there, you know? We'll see. At least I could give it a try. I'm still relatively young, so if it doesn't work out, I can come back in another year. Hopefully I can pick up more English classes. Or, you know, if it's really bad, you know, I just gotta sort of stop YouTubing and, you know, get a full-time English teaching job or something, and I'll be fine, you know. Yeah, there's actually a lot of Chinese guys seeking degrees out here in Thailand. I mean, I went to a college, there's Chinese, there's a lot of Koreans, Japanese even. Like, it's completely normal. Like, and I just did a video on my American friend who's getting a law degree. I wouldn't trust 401k pension in any country. Government could just send you a letter says I owe you. I wouldn't trust it, but then if you start talking about that, there's really nothing you can trust, you know. Jack agrees that it makes sense on long-term living here. I love this talk, Ethan. I also love the recent coffee video you posted. It was my favorite so far. Oh, thanks, John. I'm really happy you liked that video. It's not been getting a lot of views, so I'm like, oh, but it's like, it took me so long to edit it, you know, so it really means a lot that you appreciate it. Thank you. I agree with everything with you, man. I love Thailand, but I couldn't live there. That's why you're one of my favorite YouTubers. I relate to you because I'm also a Korean American living in Asia, and you inspire me to make YouTube videos. I hope I can be as good as you, man. You definitely can, man. Just put in the time, and you can only get better. The resources are out there now. It's not like a secret on how you can edit like I do or make videos like I do. The resources are out there, so if you just have the time, it's time. It's just a fight against time, you know. Great topic. Ooh, thanks. It is. I wish I would chime in on this call. You can call in next time, John. Oh, Mayu and John are talking. Oh. John made a video about Halloween in Osaka.
Halloween in Chiba is crazy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But I love Osaka.
Oh. John wants to collab. If I'm ever in Japan, you can collab. You don't need to get your skills up, buddy. Someone's saying, what do you mean people like you? Got angry at dishonest taxi drivers and supermarket cashiers? I mean, sometimes I get taxi drivers that are not necessarily dishonest, but it's like, I guess it's so understood that taxi drivers just try to get as much money as they can out of you. But once you agree, before you get into the car, I've never ever had issues with them afterwards.
เกาะมีนะให้หน่อยค่ะ
Yeah, just say, got meter, you know,
ให้หน่อยค่ะ
meter. If they don't meter, they want to go find somebody else, I'll pay them more. Well, you can't stop them from doing that. Alright, go ahead. Just get the next taxi. But once I'm in the taxi, I've never had any issues. And as far as supermarket cashiers, there's no incentive for them to be dishonest, though. Because, you know, why would they be dishonest and lose face to just make money for...
20 baht.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is like maybe miscommunication. Like sometimes I noticed in the beginning I would get angry at things, and it's just because I didn't understand the way things operate out here, and I was suspecting that they were doing something which they weren't. They were probably just trying to help me, but they're going about it in a way that wasn't familiar to me. So the longer I lived here, the less things surprise me, I guess, and the less issues I have. Yeah. I mean, I remember, like, clearly hotels asking me for my passport. Being American, I'm like, no, you're not going to get my private information. I was very, very, like, yeah, I was like, are they trying to steal are they trying to be identity theft? You know, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is like an example of how, you know, when I first came here, like, I thought maybe they're being dishonest or they're crooks. But later on, I found out, oh, they have to do TM30 with it. This is like a law out here. So, you know, it's like, I think it's there's a lot of misunderstanding out here.
When was it? You never stay any other country without passport. It's like, it's funny to me. You don't want to leave your passport at the hotel.
Well, okay, first of all, Thailand was pretty much the first country outside of Mexico, which my work took care of because I would get all the expenses paid trips there, and Korea that I went to. In Korea, obviously, I'm not showing a passport.
Yeah, you have the racing cars.
Yeah, actually, even if you're a tourist, you don't have to show a passport. And
Now I'm sure you have to show a passport.
I don't know, but and then I come here. It's the first time I was ever asked for my passport at a hotel. I'm like, what? Why are you treating like? Why do you need this? You know, so.
Stupid.
That's just my
Countryside man from Korea.
Yeah. People like me that can easily get into trouble with all the shiny things. John said he scratched a bunch of motorcycles and scooters. Dude, the trick is to rent a motorcycle that is already scratched the hell up. That's what I do. They can't tell. I mean, and actually, not only they can't tell, they don't care.
Dirty one.
Yeah,
Dirty
like,
one.
I'm not the, I see like brand new scooters, I don't go for that. I ask for like the dirty one that got messed up, you know? And then it's like, it's a win-win for them. Like, I don't care how I look on this scooter. I look stupid on it anyways. And they're gonna care less if I make a scratch on it or whatever. So, yeah, definitely want to go for the old ones. Nick is saying, yeah, he would come back here, but for a short time, not a full year. Yeah, I mean,
As a retiree.
honestly, I think right now on a tourist visa, if you do more than 2 a year, you are sort of risking being suspected of, you know, being a retiree or working here, because to the immigrant officers, and to good reason, they're wondering, how the heck are you surviving out here, you know? And if you're retired out here, then you should just get a retirement visa and pay for the retirement visa costs. That's what they're probably thinking. Yeah, I mean, I saw the statistics of how much hospital bills foreigners owed that are retirees. And I could see how it's in their right to protect, you know, their hospital industry and make sure that mainly the retirees who seem to be like, you know, racking up these hospital bills that they don't pay have insurance. So it's like, most of us are good, but it's just a few bad apples that probably kill it for everybody. So that's why this retiree insurance requirement came into effect. So yeah, I mean, get the proper visas, but to me that 6 month, because you could do 2 visas, extend it for another month, go 6 months, right? 2 travel visas. I'm completely fine paying, you know, the $60 for the tourist visa, $1,000 for the extension. It's like about $100 for every. It's like $30 a month, $40 a month for paying into, you know, the visa cost. I sort of see that as a cost of entry into an amusement park. I mean, what amusement park can you pay $40 and spend a whole month in? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm okay with that. In 6 months, I think that's good. Like, now everything in Thailand, because it's similar to me, familiar to me, I want to come back here just purely to enjoy, you know. And any more than 6 months, a year, I think I might start taking Thailand for granted. You know, I need to be in a very cold country to really appreciate how fantastic the weather is out here. I need to be in a country where the smog is significantly worse to, you know, go, hey, there is actually not that bad out here, and especially in rainy season, it's fantastic. You know, I need to be in a country where everything is so expensive to say, hey, relatively Bangkok is not that expensive. I love being out here. There's so much I can do. You know, instead of being out here for 40, 50 years and complaining, oh, they're just, oh my gosh, I I don't want to be that person, you know? I don't want to be that guy in my 50s and 60s complaining about how Thailand was like 20, 30 years ago, and you know, it's like I don't want to be that guy. I want to be able to come here every time, appreciate it, appreciate the positives of Thailand that there's so much of, the positive people, the fantastic food, the weather, and the scenery, and you know, keep it positive. And you know, no one is forcing me to stay here. No one in Thailand is gonna hate me because, you know, no authority is gonna hate me because I want to go out there and make money somewhere else so that I can spend money here and enjoy it. If anything, they'll probably encourage it, and they'll respect me for it. Aw, thank you. Someone said that they wish me the best. Stay legal. It is the best policy long term. Exactly. Have your licenses, have your insurance, etc. The reason why I like Ethan is because he has realistic expectations and options about living in Thailand and life. Aw, thank you. Jack. And Nick says so true. Aw. You're so talented. Can your YouTube channel go up? I'm not that talented. Maybe I'm the most credit I can give myself is maybe I'm better than most at now making videos, but my desire to stay objective about things and not overhype things makes my videos probably not as enjoyable. For you guys, yes. That's why I keep doing it, because you guys are the ones that support me. But for your average YouTube viewer, I don't think they enjoy that as much as if I was to hype up everything I eat and...
They want to see something dramatic.
Yeah. I try to be objective. I try to keep my emotions in control.
That's why it's more like...
Right now I'm doing English teaching full time, and hopefully my YouTube will make money. YouTube will make money. Maybe we'll start out like $1 or $2 a month, and then I'm in the big times now. Like remember, babe, I was like, I made $1.
This guy said once a month make a video titled "Hot Chicks Pick Up Bangkok." 1 million views equal 4,500 per month.
Yeah, actually, if I was doing
From
like, if there's a way you could do it where you could make money off YouTube, but I don't pursue it. But yeah, that would be like a fantastic clickbaity thumbnail of
like those really clickbaity the channels doesn't have their own characters. You know, only they do this kind of thing. The blogger or the person who edited the video, they never come to the what do you call?
Yeah, they don't.
Video.
Yeah, they don't do. They just show the girl or whatever. Yeah. Maybe I should do that too. Maya, come sit over here. Why do you keep shying away?
I'm ready to shower.
Okay.
I'm in pajamas.
Thanks, Ethan, for responding to my comment. Maybe I was being paranoid. You could be right. Oh, like
But you
the
like
taxi drivers and
people
stuff.
like you.
Well, yeah. It's normal to be paranoid, I guess. I mean, you gotta be street smart. But you once you're here enough, you know. But the opposite of being too naive and just like accepting it, I think that's probably worse. So, yeah, there's a balance. If it's unfamiliar to you, make sure you find out why. But in Thailand, try to smile and find out in a polite way. You will definitely find that goes a long way, and people are gonna be more they're gonna respond to you better, and you're gonna get a lot more accomplished with a smile than if you were to off the bat suspect someone of wrongdoing. But at the same time, yeah, there's a lot of people that will also take advantage of you if they can. So be street smart about it. So yeah, being a little bit paranoid is not a bad thing. Why is it that I can't scroll to the bottom of this?
Did you work 10 years in the States to qualify for Social Security and when you reach 55, at least a nice security blanket for health insurance.
Yeah, I did.
Pray.
I worked more than 10 years. I started working when I was 16 at JCPenney. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. I think I worked like 16 years. But I know that for me to max out my Social Security benefit, I think I should work like another, I think it's like a amount. Like, I remember there's like a Social Security benefit table, and there's like a certain amount you need to contribute to get the max payout, you know? So I was thinking of that. At first I was thinking, I was still open to the idea of having children, and I'm like, I could have kids, and then I'll move to America for their high school years, and then work the 4, 5, 6 years to max out my Social Security benefit, and then move back. But I mean, even if I don't have kids, it's even easier. I could just, like, anytime I could just, like, go and then work 4, 5, 6. I mean, hopefully I get to a point where my videography skills is pretty good, so I could pick up some side gigs with an American company and, you know, pay my dues with that W-2, you know, for 4, 5, 6 years, and max out my Social Security benefit. I've heard of 1 million views gets up towards 18,000 USD. No.
Is that
Oh, hell no.
1,800?
Cause I have a video that did 700,000. I will say that brought in a lot of money. Like I told you, right now I'm only making like 130, 170 per month on YouTube. But when that video was still going viral and going up to that point where it's 700, it sort of plateaued out. YouTube isn't pushing it anymore. The crappy thing is, like, in the beginning, I didn't make all the monetization, but the trickle effect of that one video, I would get like $100 a month. So I was making almost like $250, you know, just because of that one video. But I also know that even if I made the monetization in the beginning, it wouldn't have been much, because I made another video about why I left America, and that's pretty good. It was like I got monetization from the beginning, and I remember in 1 month I made $500, and I'm like, wow. If I made $500 a month on YouTube, I would quit. I wouldn't even pick up side gigs. I would just full-time YouTube, you know? Oh man, that was fantastic. 1 month I made $500 on YouTube. That one time I made that viral video. And I got monetization on it, and it was fantastic. Man. I wish I could repeat that success, but who knows? But 18,000? Hell no, you're not gonna make 18K. Maybe it's because I'm Thai, but taxi situation in Vietnam is way worse. Taxi situation in Vietnam is way worse. That's why I can appreciate it. And first of all, taxi situation anywhere other than Bangkok is way worse. In Bangkok, taxis everywhere. 9 times out of 10, I say meter and they'll meter it. Yeah? 5 times out of 10, they press the meter even before I get into the taxi. You know? Vietnam, I will say, you know what? I only Ubered in Vietnam. But when I talk to them, the prices are ridiculous. Even Uber is like ridiculous fees to get in a taxi. It's so ridiculous that I walked around most of the places. And even the motorcycle taxis, they overcharge. And it's like, I'm telling you guys, me traveling in Vietnam cost me more money than me traveling in Thailand, even though it's an underdeveloped country, because it's just, they jack up the prices for tourists, for everything. I haven't heard W2 in a while. Oh, oh yeah, W2. Okay, what I will say though is I am in a genre of videos that gets low CPM. I think that's what they call it. But for each view, my videos don't get as much as some other channels like beauty vloggers and such, because it is not a very desirable genre for marketers. Almost why I'm thinking about starting up a side channel. I would have already done it if I don't have two other side channels, just doing tech reviews. There's a lot of advertisers that want to advertise on tech reviews. So, yeah. Yeah. Travel genre, there's not many advertisers that want to advertise on my channel, guys. Sorry. You know, I don't blame them. I talk about, you know, not throwing money at the corporate wheel and such, and who's gonna want to advertise here? And yeah, I mean, if there's one thing that I may be even more passionate about than Thailand is camera equipment. I research it. I spend more time on it, far more than any other thing. I should do like a video on how to become a YouTuber, like the basics, you know. A lot of people want to learn how to be YouTubers, like how to edit, what kind of software options you have, stuff like this. Because there's already enough tech review guys, and I see that most of them are either coming from, you know, wedding, like film or wedding, whatever, or a lot of them are doing commercial work, or a lot of them are doing like movies. There's nobody that's like a vlogger that's doing a tech review, strangely, you know? They become a vlogger because they are doing tech reviews. But like a travel vlogger, yeah. Strange thing is most people buy tech and gear to become like for their travel. So I'm like, maybe I should do that, you know, from a travel vlogger's perspective. Because the gear I would recommend over like a wedding photographer is completely different, you know. Alright, so yeah, good idea, John. Maybe I'll do it. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I'll see you guys later. Good chatting with ya. How do I end it? Oh, I gotta go.